So in this video, we're going to be talking about reasons why I do not have kids. Hello everybody and welcome to Chore With Me. I'm Hannah, and on this channel, we simplify life by decluttering our homes and hearts. If that's something that interests you, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be informed every time I upload a new video. A few weeks ago, I made a video that was entitled Childless Couple 10 Things People Say to My Husband and I When They Find Out We Don't Have Kids. If you haven't watched it, it's going to be linked down in the description box below, so go ahead and take a look at that video after you watch this one. This is sort of a second part to that first video. In that video, I said I would make a second video and tell people why we don't have kids if anyone asked the question, and someone did. I'm going to pop their name up on the screen right now. Thank you for asking. This video is going to talk about the reason that my husband and I don't have kids. Now first I want to give a little disclaimer. I think being a parent is the hardest job you can ever have. I'm not a parent, but I know a lot of parents. My siblings have kids, my cousins have kids, most of my friends have kids. So first I just want to say kudos to all the parents out there because you have a really tough job. Before I filmed this video, I spent some time doing some online research to find other videos that people had made about why they didn't have kids. And to be honest, there actually aren't that many videos out there. It's interesting to see the reasons that other people have for not having children. We're kind of a weird bunch. People don't really know what to do with us. Or maybe a bit of an anomaly. Statistics show that in the United States, women aged 45 to 50 have an approximately 17% childless rate, and in countries like Europe and the United Kingdom, these rates vary from about 14 to 23% for the same age group. There are two common misconceptions that I found. Number one, if you don't have kids, people think you hate children. And number two, people think there's something medically wrong with you and that's why you don't have children because you can't have them. I'm gonna say that neither of these two things are the reason that I don't have kids. As far as I know medically, I can have kids. I mean, I don't know for sure because I haven't had any, but I'm going to assume that I'm healthy enough to have children. And as for the second one, I don't hate children. First off, let's talk babies. Babies to me are a little bit scary. They're super wriggly, they squirm a lot, and you're not sure how to hold them. At least I'm not. I've had many friends who have babies, and when they have their babies, they want to give you the pleasure of holding their most precious possession. And it's not that I don't want to hold their baby, it's just that, you know, I'm a little nervous, never having been a mother or anything. So if they're holding the baby and they're standing and they go to pass the baby to you, I'm never sure what to do with my arms because I know you have to support the head, you have to support the body, you want to make sure their arms aren't being bent back. I always have this fear that I'm going to drop someone's baby.
Drop someone's baby. Drop someone's baby.
I know that might seem really silly, but I just always get nervous in the pit of my stomach. Something's gonna happen and their baby's just gonna slip through my arms and fall to the floor. And I would feel absolutely horrible if that ever happened. Is this just a childless lady thing or do new moms feel like this too? It's interesting, I was actually talking to someone not that long ago and they told me that they had a newborn and the lady was terrified to bathe her baby because she didn't know how to hold the baby and bath it and do all of that at the same time. So for the first month, and this is not a joke, she sponged off her baby. I mean, she cleaned it obviously, but she just sponged it off because she didn't feel like she was able to hold onto the baby and clean the baby and be able to manage all of that. So I feel like maybe my fear of just holding a baby it's a real thing. So yes, I've admitted, babies make me a little bit nervous.
And probably if I was around babies all the time and it was my own, I would get used to things. I would know how to do things. I would feel a lot more comfortable. But there's always that discomfort when you've never had your own baby because you're dealing with someone else's and you don't want to trial and error on someone else's baby. That's a little terrifying.
I would say the main reason that I don't have kids is I've never felt maternal. I don't think I have a biological clock, or at least it's not ticking. I don't think it ever started ticking. It's interesting because when you're young, every girl at some point wants to be a mom. And of course, I played with dolls and I held them and I pretended to feed them. And then as life progressed, I decided, you know what, I'm kind of over that phase. I don't think I want kids. And since then, my mind has very much been made up to the point that I don't want kids. It's interesting though, because people never believe you. They always tell you that you're going to have kids. So, you know, they say, oh, wait till you meet somebody. When you meet the right person, you're going to want kids with that person. Well, I did undergrad, I did graduate school, I met the person, I got married, we've been married for 10 years and I still don't have kids. And that feeling of wanting kids has never come. Now I know there are some people who choose to have kids because they feel it's the right thing to do, it's part of the life cycle, and they don't wait for that super strong feeling to have children, to have babies. But that's just not me. If I don't feel that urge to have babies, I'm not gonna have a baby. Okay, now before you write me off and you think I'm a completely heartless person, I have thought about babies before, and I've even thought about having a baby before. Would the baby have brown eyes? Would the baby have green eyes? Would it love music? Would it be gifted in playing piano like my husband? Or would he or she like to cook in the kitchen like me? So beyond having some of those really natural thoughts that I think most people do have at some point in their life, it's never really gone beyond that. I kind of think about it, and then I think, oh well, I guess I'll just never know, and I'm okay with not knowing. Now there are those of you that might be saying, what about your husband? Doesn't he get an opinion? And yes, I actually asked him this morning, what is your opinion about us not having kids? Obviously this is something we talked about long before we ever decided to get married, because he knew I felt really strongly about not having kids. And I never wanted to marry someone that wanted kids so bad and couldn't have them because I was the one that said, nope, I'm not having kids. So here's what he said. And I quote, I could have gone either way. Kids are a big responsibility. We would have less freedom if we had kids. And the longer we don't have kids, the more I feel like I couldn't have them because I'm so used to the life that we have now. So that's his opinion about kids. It is such a huge decision whether or not to have kids, and everyone makes their own decision, and I completely respect that. I'm really happy not having kids. I don't feel like I'm missing out on life. My nieces and nephews are a huge part of my life. I've spent a lot of time with them, and I've loved watching them grow up. It's been super fun. We have some older ones that are teens and starting adulthood, and then we've got some super young ones and some on the way. It is super fun being part of kids' lives and getting to watch them grow up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. That is why I don't have kids. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them down below. And don't forget to go ahead and watch the video that I made a few weeks ago that discusses things people say to us when they find out we don't have kids. Until next time, see you later.